420 lounge and the room spins back again. Ash on the table, pizza box by the door. We talk real loud, but we don't know what it's for. Pass it left, pass it right, tell me what you found. Words get soft when the whole place rolls around. Just 420 lounge, we don't know. Just 420 lounge, but we still go. Just 420 lounge, yeah, we let it ride. We don't know what we're saying, but we mean it tonight. Somebody says the moon got a job to do. I nod like a sage while I'm chewing on my shoe. There's smoke on the couch and a blink in every face. We laugh at a thought, then we lose that thought in space. Hey. Pass it left, pass it right, let the night get loud. One more round, and we disappear in the crowd. Just 420 loud, we don't know. Just 420 loud, but we still go. Just 420 loud, yeah, we let it ride. We don't know what we're saying, but we mean it tonight. Maybe it's deep, maybe it's just the fries. Maybe the answer is right behind our eyes. We point at the screen, we swear it's all so clear. Then somebody laughs, and the whole thing vanishes here. Just 420 lounge, we don't know. Just 420 lounge, but we still go. Just 420 lounge, yeah, we let it ride. We don't know what we're saying, but we mean it tonight. Just 420 lounge, we don't know. Just 420 lounge, but we still go. Just 420 lounge, yeah, we let it ride. We don't know what we're saying, but we mean it tonight.
All right, welcome to the 420 Lounge, where we talk cannabis, call out the dumb shit stunners do, and actually figure out what works. No gatekeeping, no bro science, just real talk and better habits. So pull up, roll up, and let's not be idiots. So today's topic specifically is why you're wrong about THCa. I see all these comments in my job, which I work in the cannabis industry. I'm constantly hearing people ask why THCa is fake weed. Yeah. That's dumb. And here's why. So, THCa is a cannabinoid. Well, here, I'll just read it, right? So delta 9 THCA, also called THCA or tetrahydrocannabinolic acid, is natural raw form of the active compound in cannabis. It's what the plant actually makes first. Delta 9 THC is the version that gets you high. See how there's a difference here? THC, THCA, okay? They're basically the same molecule, except THCA has an extra piece attached to it that changes everything until you heat it. Fresh cannabis, or hemp, which is just a bullshit ass name because it's all under the cannabis sativa, right? Doesn't contain much ready to use THC, the part that gets you high, the psychoactive compound. What they do contain is mostly THCA, and that builds it from the starter molecule, CBG-A, using its own enzymes. THCA has this extra acid group, hence the A, a clump of atoms stuck to it. That extra piece makes the molecule bigger and changes how it behaves in your body. So for those of us that didn't take chemistry, we'll omit that part. So this is the molecular structure of THCA, right? Well, that doesn't bind to your CB1 and your CB2 receptors because it's in the acid form, which again is what the A stands for. It's non-psychoactive, it's a predominant cannabinoid in raw cannabis, and converts to THC, the thing that gets you high, when you heat it. This is what is known as decarboxylation. So when you heat it, it removes this part, the COOH. That's where, well, it's found in small amounts, but we'll get into that later. But it's formed when THCA is heated, and that also affects how your endocannabinoid system processes it. It also makes it able to cross the brain barrier and all that stuff, and how it affects your endocannabinoid system. Oops. So decarboxylation, this is the core science, the chemistry, right? So when you heat it up, you're removing the A. Interesting enough, if you leave like your cannabis in clear jars and outside, which I don't know why anybody would do that, the light itself can chemically change THCA to THC. So it's carbon dioxide, which is the COOH that it's taken off of the back end on the picture we just watched, right? So THCA is locked up. Your body can't access it. There are certain studies in fringe cases where THCA can be absorbed, but it has different effects and doesn't have anything to do with what we're talking about. The heat is what changes that, aka lighting a blunt, sparking a bowl, ripping a dab. There's a reason heat is involved in all of these, hitting the vape. This is tobacco. But anyways, it's also the same reason that when you make edibles, you don't just bake a tray of brownies and throw a whole bunch of cannabis flower in them. It's not how it works. I'm not trying to explain how to make edibles, but you decarboxylate it using the oven before you make the edibles. So, I've gone over this a little bit before, but this is why you have to remove the A from the THC for it to work in your body. It's because we all have an endocannabinoid system, which, by the way, is totally a body thing. Everybody has one. You got your CB1 receptors, your CB2. It was actually discovered through cannabis, but it is a regulatory system in your body. So when you actually activate the THC, it can affect pain, mood, appetite, which munchies, my favorite, and sleep, also my favorite. Inflammation, we'll get into this. Some people say that it affects memory negative, but that is not true. It can in certain ways, but again, we'll get into that. And then immunoresponse. These two are for the CBG part. So the locks are your receptors, right? Your CB1 and your CB2s, mostly in your brain and nerves, and CB2 is through your immune system and organs. So THC fits to the CB1 receptors really well, like a key. And that's what causes your high, relaxation, appetite boost, pain relief, but why it can also cause anxiety, foggy memory. But THC is bulkier because of the extra acid group, sorry. It doesn't fit well into those locks, so raw THCA does not get you high. Instead, THC appears to work in other pathways. It can do things for inflammation and help with nausea. And early animal research suggests neuroprotective effects and possible benefits for memory-related issues. So, spoiler alert, this is because technically when there's THCA before you burn it, there's also CBGA, which CBGA is responsible for the memory-related stuff in the neuroprotective. So here's a breakdown. Real simple. Raw. Right off the plant. Mostly THCA. Could have some uses. Smoked, vaped, heated. Gets you high. Classic cannabis. Edibles, stronger lasting. That's the delta 11 hydroxy for the stronger, longer lasting high. Pro tip. If you don't want to get high, don't burn it. You can still get some of the benefits without getting high. So a lot of products today sold as THCA flower, Delta 9 THC, or hemp flower, bred to be very high in THCA but low in actual Delta 9. Under the 2018 Farm Bill rules, this can make them legal hemp before you heat them, which is a huge fucking loophole. Like, that loophole is and should be closed. Smoke it or vape it, the THCA turns into regular THC and you get the normal cannabis effects. And it's a very legal gray area that varies state by state and how labs test it. And a key point here is that THCA under the Farm Bill does not have to pass the regulation that regular cannabis does, even though it's the same thing, right? So conversion isn't perfect even when you're burning it. Some THC remains, but whatever. This part's super important. Everybody's endocannabinoid system varies, which is why it's ridiculous to ask somebody when you go into the weed store, what's the best weed? Well, I don't know. I know what works great for me because I know my body and the effects it has on me. It's all through trial and error. I don't know what's going to be great for you. I can ask you what your preferences are and kind of guide you that way, right? But to just come up to me and be like, I want the best weed. That's dumb. Don't ask me that. And this is kind of what I was getting at with the unregulated crap. They don't get tested. So how are we supposed to know if what they say it is what it is? Which also can be a thing even with regulation. So yeah, even without heat, light and exposure to heat lower than combustion still will convert it to THC. So, in conclusion, Delta 9 THC is the plant's natural pre-activated, right? It's not fake weed. It is weed. You just have to burn it. It has its own potential gentle benefits without the high. Heat performs a simple chemical change, decarboxylation, that removes one piece of the molecule and turns it into a version that interacts strongly with your brain receptors. It's a cool plant chemistry meeting your body's own regulation system. The science is solid on the conversion part and promising, but not fully proven in humans yet, on THCA's unique effects. Want to try it? Know whether you want the non-high version or the fully activated effects, and understand how you're consuming it and why, I would say. That's the practical science in plain English. So with that, I'm going to post a link in for anybody that wants to come up and ask questions, because, yeah, got there quick, but
I'll ask questions.
I think
So-
that was pretty fucking clear.
Well, if it
But we'll see.
was, it is now. If it wasn't, it is now.
Mhm.
So, before I ask a question, I will say this to give it to anybody not quite catching exactly the drift of what Darth is saying, right? Think of it this way. Everybody knows what Pokemon is. THCA is a Magikarp. Pretty freaking useless. Has its place. But until it becomes a Gyarados, aka THC, it doesn't become quite as useful, right?
Well, when you get
So-
1,000 candies and you are awarded the lighter, right?
sort of, kind of. I knew you were going to say that, but the point being is that on its own, a Magikarp or THCA isn't exactly useful. If you consume cannabis without any sort of decarboxylation, you still have the benefits of CBD, CBG, CBC, but not as potent as if you evolved it
No,
into a
not-
Gyarados.
No, CBD and CBG also have acid forms that are in the raw plant. Those also have to be decarboxylized.
Okay, so retract that. THCA isn't as cool or as powerful or as useful unless you evolve it with heat into a Gyarados, aka THC. So
Yes,
you,
which is what everybody
you have
wants,
to have
right?
you have to have the conversion, right? Well, you have to have that release. And so take that, take that with a grain of salt. Obviously that was a really dumb analogy, but everybody does know what Pokemon is. So that actually kind of leads into my question, which is, so we know about THCA needing to be converted, and that becomes THC, which is what everybody uses the metric off of.
Which
And
is also
which
dumb.
is not correct, but or not 100% correct, I should say. You obviously want THC content, but what other cannabinoids are there that
before
aren't?
I answer that, you brought something up that I wanted to address. The conception of why THC is considered fake weed. THCA, right?
THCA?
Delta 9 especially when they say Delta 9, people are like, "Ugh, that's the fake stuff." Well, the reason that people think that, in my opinion, is because of the actual fake weed epidemic. So, like back in the day when you had Spice and K2 and all that,
The Mad Hatter.
yeah, and like more recently, like the Delta 8. Now there's like Delta Zero. So they see those things and they think, oh, well, that's way more scientific. And then they see Delta 9 and they're like, well, that must be fake too then. It's like, no, 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 no. Tetrahydrocannabinol Delta 9 A is true cannabis. Everything else, the Delta 8, that's synthetic. They are using chemistry to simulate it because you can't patent a plant. I mean, this is the real truth. There's a race right now to make as many patents as they can, and you can't actually patent a plant, at least in America. But what you can patent is synthesizing what the plant does. The reason we see all this fake crap is because you can't synthesize what the plant does. It predates humans.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, maybe you can, but why would you? It's easy to grow, it's super useful. Why the fake stuff? Money is the reason. Money and greed.
So that actually kind of so like in some circles, right? Because I'm a Christian. I actually use this is gonna sound hilarious, but I use cannabis as an argument for proof of God.
Yeah, the burning bush. By the way,
No, not
pay me.
necessarily. Not necessarily the burning bush, right?
No, no, but that's the easiest one. It never says not to.
Correct. You're right. It never says not to. It does say to treat your body like a temple, blah 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 blah. Um, so here's my argument, right? Is if you pull up Grok again, um, for your screen share, um, ask how many other species there are on planet Earth that have an endocannabinoid system. There aren't many. However,
Well, I'm not sure about that because don't terpenes kind of interfere with that? I could be totally wrong.
terpenes are different. Terpenes are different. This is a side. So this is like
Yeah,
my
yeah. Just give me a
argument,
second to
right?
fucking pull it up here. Put me on the spot.
Um,
So what plants or what affects the
no,
EDs,
no, 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 no,
EDS?
no. Okay, type this in verbatim.
Yep.
How many other species besides humans are on planet Earth that have an active endocannabinoid system?
I think we're the only ones, but
We're
why
not
do
we're
I?
not the only ones. We're not the only ones. There's only so many, right? And we do have a comment here that I do want to pull up, and this is part of it.
Okay, well, I'm typing, so do it.
Yeah, no, I'm doing it. Um, so
Have an
animanarchy
EDS. Or,
animanarchy is correct. Mammals have an endocannabinoid system. Not all mammals have an endocannabinoid system. There are a certain finite amount of this, and there is a plant on this earth that
oh yeah,
specifically relieves certain ailments and provides better mood and eases agitation, is good for pain, is good for comfort, is good for, I mean, all sorts of things, right?
true,
Like,
but that's
there
not
there are there
necessarily
are
THC
cons.
though.
There are cons. Yeah, yes. Yes, but that's why I said that there is a plant. I didn't say that it was THC that was doing it. I said there is a plant that contains all of these great things, right?
Hmm?
All of these great, and again, Animanarchy hitting it nail on the head. It is miraculous, right? So out of all of that, and the chances that we are one of, I mean, you gotta keep this in context, right? That there's so many species of life on Earth.
Hmm.
We are one of the few that can actually ingest in some way, form, or fashion cannabis and not get poisoned from it. We can pretty much fully just enjoy the plant, and it's a plant, right? So
Hmm.
a plant occurs in nature. Well, what made nature? God.
Yes.
God made nature. So so this I like, if you think about it, how what are the freaking chances of this miracle plant
You can
and
say fucking.
us exist on the same planet?
Well, I mean,
How is that
I
a
would argue
coincidence?
that's a whole nother conversation of how what are the chances that humans are humans, but so okay, here we go. I haven't read it. I just screwed up on getting it to actually get there. It's a complex evolutionary ancient cell signaling network that helps maintain homeostasis, which, if you want to go look it up, I have a video about this as well, including pain, perception, inflammation, appetite, mood, sleep, immune function, reproduction, neuroprotection. The neuroprotection is something I would like to address when it comes to the CBG part. So the question of which species have similar ECS is well studied in comparative biology and veterinarian science. The short answer is nearly all animals except insects and some protozoa possess an ECS or closely related endocannabinoid-like system. It is highly conserved in vertebrates, present in varying forms in many invertebrates.
Mhm.
We aren't gonna entertain the evolutionary aspect of it because we don't believe in that.
So it says all vertebrates have a well-developed ECS that is broadly. You totally just. I was reading that out loud.
Which part?
The part that you scrolled up on, it was further. Keep going. Keep going. Boop. Okay, stop. All vertebrates have a well-developed ECS that is broadly similar to ours in structure, components, and function. So mammals, dogs, cats, horses, rodents, primates, cows, pigs, and others, the system is pervasive and highly conserved. Studies confirm CB1 and CB2 receptors, endocannabinoids, and relevant enzymes across mammalian species. So keeping that in mind, dogs, cats, horses, rodents, primates, cows, pigs, and others, all of the things that it just listed, have a limit. Like we have a limit with alcohol. If we drink too much
Yeah,
alcohol, we
this
will
is why
get
you can't.
poisoned
This
and
is why you can't give
we
dogs
will
like
die. But this is
yeah,
why that you should not give dogs, cats, or any other
THC.
mammal THC unless you are familiar.
CBD and CBG though, probably okay. You don't want to introduce psychoactive things to things that don't know they exist and don't have sentience, you know?
So yeah. Um m- Mostly everything that isn't a bug has some sort of one and it can ingest it, but odds are most of the time they will get poisoned from it. Um, I actually had a dog that got poisoned from it. Um, I didn't know that when I was younger because I was still like 10 or 11, and the dog
Hmm.
got into my mom's edible stash and ate her edibles and ended up getting like like almost died. Like we had to like have like it flushed and like all sorts of stuff like to try to like rehydrate it, and I mean all sorts of things. There is a limit, right?
Hmm.
There's a limit that you can give your dog and stuff safely, but it's much drastically smaller than what we can handle.
Yeah. Well, and that kind of ties back to like what I was saying when like a customer is like, "What's the best weed?" Why that's such a dumb question, because it's like I don't know your endocannabinoid system. Only you know that. Everyone's different. But with animals, for the most part, THC is usually not great for them, but the other stuff is.
Yes, what somebody might consider a small amount to a human could be
Well, yeah.
extremely large to another animal.
Yeah, that's why you
Um,
got people who get ripped off of 10 milligrams and people who eat like with edibles, because that's pretty much the only way you're getting an animal to do it.
oh
But
yeah, sure. So,
plus, they don't have the same liver function as we do as well. So, like, there's
right.
that whole aspect.
Animanarchy said, anyway, the cat loved it. He was just talking about how, like, an experience that he had.
Hmm.
I'm assuming sorry, if you're not, but I actually one of my current cats. Um, Whenever I go out and smoke a bong, and if the cat is outside, the cat will come running up and sit in my lap and like bug the shit out of me until like I like blow some smoke her way. And then she gets all happy and excited and afterwards, and then for like a like a little 10-second run, and then immediately calms down and then like spacewalks away. It's so funny. But just purring, just in like after like 10 seconds, just starts purring. just going along, just purring, walking across the yard. Cat loves it.
I mean,
But
what's
once
not to
again,
love?
you have to be careful.
Yes. So, have we debunked at this point that THC is not fake weed? THCa is not fake weed.
I would say so. THCA is definitely not fake weed. Um, Although through all of your learning period of the intricacies of cannabis, you also updated me. So I've known this for years now.
Yes. Anarchy. Do you want me to bring up the CBG? Because there is a huge impact that CBG can and should have. And it
So
does
okay,
not seem like anybody knows about this, except for
so
like researchers in Jerusalem, which that's the only place that can actually fucking research it.
let's see here. Bam. So actually, let's address this because this falls in line with exactly what you were saying earlier.
Hmm.
Um, THC is a neuroprotective antioxidant.
It is. And it's antifungal, I do believe. And certain terpenes can be antibacterial and antifungal as well.
Correct. Can you briefly explain um so I know that there are pros and there are cons to that, right? So THC is a neuroprotective antioxidant, and that statement is correct.
It's not
Um,
super strong though. I think it's become synonymous with CBG just because we can't do the research, so we just lump it all into one category, if that makes sense.
yeah. The there's another part to that though, right? It's not just an antioxidant. There's another part to that with CBG and CBC.
Well, there's a lot they can't explain. It's very theoretical right now. I can tell you my anecdotal evidence, but
Well,
it
we'll
is
just
anecdotal.
without speaking out of context, just say what current research shows, right? Because that's all we can talk about is what current research shows.
Well, I don't really look at like what THC specifically can do as far as a neuroprotectant.
Okay, I'll say it then. Fine, I'll say it. So THC is a neuroprotective antioxidant. Um, so that part is true. From the research that I have done, the that part pertains specifically to helping wash away neurotoxins and stuff like that. So it kind of refreshes the brain. But then CBG and CBC specifically also help the brain reconnect certain neural pathways. Um, so it
Hmm.
actually helps memory in that way. Obviously, like back in the day, they used to say, drink a glass of wine or a beer at dinner to help your blood pressure.
Hmm.
And then they finally realized that maybe that wasn't the best advice to give
Well,
people.
4 out of
Because,
5 doctors recommend Camel cigarettes as a healthy alternative.
yeah, right, exactly right. So take this part with a grain of salt, but it is kind of my point. But current research shows that the CBG and CBC cannabinoids actually help reconnect neural pathways, um,
Hmm.
and have been found to help with certain ailments, that
Well, it's neural pathways, right? It's
that
also very effective on
that
the.
make you
All
forget
right.
stuff.
Well, it's not even that. I mean, it is, but like it's at least the scale that I researched it on. Um, the things that they're finding like super breakthroughs through. All right, so let's dive into the CBG part. I'm just gonna go off the dome. I don't need Croc for this. CBG is the mother of all cannabinoids. So when the plant first starts growing, there's two phases. There's the grow phase and the flowering phase. And this occurs over generally between 3 to 4 months, maybe 5 if you're doing it outdoors, but you can totally control it with artificial lighting. Anyways, that's not the point. When the plant is growing in the growth phase, all of the cannabinoids in it are CBGA. That's why it's called the mother cannabinoid, because it converts into all of the other great things, which we have not even discovered all of the great things. Hence, we can't patent it or synthesize it. So, if you know the distinction between sativa and indica, which still fall under the genus of cannabis sativa, indica's more body high, right? Sativa's more head high, energetic, right? So that's a real basic thing. Everything's a hybrid now, but originally, right? CBG. Well, actually, the reason I say the distinction of that is because generally it's from your neck down considered indica, from your neck up considered sativa, right?
Mm-hmm.
The interesting thing they're finding in the limited CBGA research that they're doing is that it has these neuroprotective properties, but not only does it have that, it so when we were talking about like how the endocannabinoid system directly like regulates your body through your hypothalamus, CBG seems to be the one that affects it the most, but it also crosses the blood-brain barrier way better than, I think, other than THC, pretty much the most. But in mature plants, there's very little CBGA. So it's only occurring during the flowering phase.
Mm-hmm.
So it's very hard to harvest if you didn't know these things, right? Uh, but when it comes to the neck up, right, that is why I think, well, I wouldn't say why, but the regulation of through the hypothalamus, it neuroprotects. And the most fascinating study I've read was actually in stroke patients, which I don't know the science on why, like when you have a stroke, which is a blood clot in your brain, right?
Right.
No, that was a question. I'm
Well,
not for sure. I'm not a doctor.
blood. A stroke is a blood clot that is moved to the brain or is suffocating the brain of blood flow.
Okay. For some reason, when that happens, people lose control of their left arm. I think it's specifically their left arm. In certain cases, again, I would like to preface, not a doctor. This is entertainment here, right?
Mm-hmm.
They have not been able to find anything that can undo that other than CBG. CBG can reconnect those neural pathways in your nerve system from your brain to your arm. They've actually seen people recover from that. Now, all these studies, again, are from a university in Jerusalem. And it's kind of fucked up that that's the only place that has been able to research this since the 70s. And the reason that place is a hotbed is because prohibition of cannabis was nuts. And in the 70s, the US was like, nope, now it's Schedule 1. And so all of the experts went to Israel because Israel's like, we're not cool with it, but you can study it. So that's where all the scientists went that gave a shit about the treatment options and whatnot.
Well, so like I'll talk about my personal experience with it, right? Because that's pretty safe. So I have pretty gnarly nerve issues that extend all the way to my hands, feet, neck, back. That includes sciatica, um, pins and needles type stuff. Um, when when I ingest cannabis in some form or fashion, um, first thing I notice is all of that goes away. I am not experiencing all of the same feelings that I'm feeling all the time. Um, I also find relief in my inflammation. which also helps with that a lot. I also find that it
Can I ask you something on that one? Because I think that usually is like synonymous with pain. And I struggle when people are like, well, I need pain relief.
yeah, it's like, do you need
And it's
pain
like,
relief or do you need an Aleve?
when it's like, well,
Which is kind of the same
how
thing.
much are you expecting from this, right? Like, it does a whole bunch of amazing things, but like, it's hard to explain that it doesn't necessarily, like, yes, it does things for inflammation, right? But for the actual, like, pain aspect,
Hmm.
it just makes you give less of a shit, in my opinion. I still feel the pain.
Okay, so there's a difference, right? Alcohol makes me give less of a shit
Mm,
about it. It's kind of like, yeah, it's there, but not really paying attention to that right now. On the other side, cannabis specifically, the phenomenon that happens with me is that I quite literally don't feel it any longer. Like if I do feel it, it's very, very, very dull for the most part or extremely tolerable. Um, like if I were to
yeah, I
tap
think
my foot
tolerable
against
is the right word on that. Yeah.
like if I were to tap my foot, what my worst foot that has the worst nerve ending pain, if I were to tap that, I'd still kind of feel some sort of that sensation, the feeling of having my normal symptoms that I have. However, they're very dull and very fuzzy, kind of like TV static. Like there's not much going on there. It's like, yeah, but not really. It's not uncomfortable by any means. More like, that's weird. That's a weird feeling. But
Would you
nine
take
times
it?
out of 10,
This
nine
could
times
get
out of
interesting.
10, though, it makes it just flat out go away.
But you and I both have like extremely high like pain tolerances.
Yeah. But that's kind of my point, right? Is that I have a pain threshold where if as long as it's at or below a certain amount, I can push it to the back of my head. Doesn't really. It's not at the forefront of it, right? It's not. I'm not
Yeah,
thinking
that's
about
kind
it.
of
It's just
making
kind of
my
like
argument though. It's
it's
like it
there.
really, yeah, it's there. We just cannabis, um, just makes me give a shit. It's easier to tune out.
Hmm.
Like
Hmm.
the pain's still there. I can just tune it out easier. I mean, I already tuned it out. It just makes it easier.
Yeah. The see that's the thing about cannabis for me is that is why I like it so much and why it's so like in my eyes so miraculous for me, right? Not
Hmm.
saying that it'll affect everybody the same, but in my experience, it it's like being extremely muddy and gross and sweaty and you just got a shit ton of crap all over you and it's like taking a shower. That feeling after you're done taking that shower and you're clean and you're dry and you're just laying there in bed and you're like, oh man, this is just fantastic. I feel so much better after all of that crap. That's that feeling. That's
Yeah.
that's that's kind of what I equate it to is like showering off all of the crud, all of the pain, everything. It just kind of goes whoosh, washes right away, and I feel much better. I can move again.
Can we say though that Just because that's your experience doesn't mean that's going to be everybody else's experience. And that not necessarily, and I'm not trying to be safe here. I just think this is important. Uh, Not everybody's experience is going to be like that.
Right,
This
right.
this is why I
That,
was talking about the endocannabinoid system, and everybody's is different.
right, and I will say that again, to reiterate that is that I want to make it very clear that that is my experience. Not everybody will have that experience. That is what works for me the best. I use that at the end of the day as a reward for getting through the day with all of that pain.
Same.
I
I think
I
there's
spent
also, yep,
years of taking Tylenol, ibuprofen, or
fuck that shit.
Aleve, or anything, adjacent to that to try to relieve the inflammation. And from like ages 18 to 20, the Aleve worked really well for that, and that's all I really needed. Um, but this is a game changer. Um, Cannabis solves a lot of my symptoms that I have, not just physically, but also mentally as well. I'm a high anxiety person, very high anxiety person. And
Same.
it allows me to actually chill for a second and not have that anxiety, which is also part of the physiological side of things as well. Um, it's it's very important to me. It's very important to me.
It's very important to me too. Um, I don't, again, I have to stress it's not for everybody. I'm not like one of these fucking tree hugger, fucking weed pushers. I mean, sure, it's my job, but I don't get any benefits from anybody buying it, right?
Hmm.
Maybe it's not for you.
Yeah, and it may not be. It may not be for everybody. But to the people that it is for, I feel you. I feel you.
And for the people it is for, fucking like and subscribe for fuck's sake. Let's get to 100.
I'm so I'm actually do you see Anarchy's
Mhm.
the one with the question mark, like the fourth one up? I don't entirely know what that is. I'm gonna
Hydrobromide.
Yeah, I'm gonna Google that real quick. Anarchy, because I want to be able to interact with that.
Sorry for the sneezing. I hit a fucking vape, which I shouldn't have done because vapes suck.
Oh, okay. I am aware of what you're saying, and yes. Yes. Now I understand what you mean by that. Have tried that. Not my favorite.
Oh, is that the
Just
thing you
Google
ate at the
it. Just
concert?
no, just Google it real quick.
Just how would I know it from you?
You wouldn't.
Okay, well, just message it to me. Hey, I shouldn't have hit the vape. What the hell? We should take a quick song break.
Yeah, apparently.
Yeah, so I can pee, and plus your songs are awesome.
All right, here we go.
Oh yeah. Menu looks deep, but the question is loud. If two bread sides hold it, doesn't make the crowd. You serve it hot, you serve it proud, but the sandwich police keep circling around. Hey, is it a dog? Is it a roll? If it got ketchup, does it take my soul? I need a truth, I need it now. The bun got logic and I don't know how. Are they sandwiches? Are they sandwiches? Hot dog in the middle, tell me yes or no. Are they sandwiches? Are they sandwiches? When the bun gets split, where does the hot dog go? At Dodge 420 Lounge, we all start to doubt. Are they sandwiches? Are they sandwiches? Somebody spell it out. Old man at the counter says, son, don't fight it. If the bread hugs meat, then the law just wrote it. But my cousin swears with the sesame crown, that's a dog in the blanket, and the blankets turn brown. Then the pickle drops down like a referee, says call it what you want, it's a victory. A relish on the piece, spice in the air. The only wrong answer is acting like you don't care. Nah. Is it a meal? Is it a trick? Why's the truth look messy and deliciously thick? I need a bite, I need a sign. If it comes with onions, is it crossing the line? Are they sandwiches? Are they sandwiches? Hot dog in the middle, tell me yes or no. Are they sandwiches? Are they sandwiches? When the bun gets split, where does the hot dog go? At Dodge 420 Lounge, we all start to doubt. Are they sandwiches? Are they sandwiches? Somebody spell it out. Hey! Maybe the real debate isn't bread or meat. Maybe it's who stays calm when the mustard meets the heat. One love for the bun side, one love for the dog. If the whole joint's laughing, then the verdict's not so far. Yeah. Are they sandwiches? Are they sandwiches? Hot dog in the middle, tell me yes or no. Are they sandwiches? Are they sandwiches? When the bun gets split, where does the hot dog go? At Dog 420 Lounge, we all start to doubt. Are they sandwiches? Are they sandwiches? Somebody spell it out. I came for a snack and a friendly fight, left with sauce on my chin and a grin so bright. Dodge 420 Lounge, you know the score. I'll be back for the verdict and one dog more. One more. One more. One more. One more.
Get it.
For anybody who hasn't, that is a gentle reminder.
Yeah, I should have done that at the beginning, and I forgot.
No, that's okay. We're allowed to mix it up. Totally allowed to mix it up. So, riddle me this one, Batman.
Keep it about fake weed.
Yeah.
Okay.
What is one of the most absurd, like, and out of all of the experiences that you had with talking directly to a customer, what is, like, top of your brain, what is the most absurd interaction that you had with somebody?
Well, I instantly thought of two. One is the person that comes up with their cart on their phone, because we have an online menu so that you can order before you go to the #1 weed dispensary in Illinois, where people get confused that we're busy. You know, the store that makes probably $100,000 a day. And they have all the shit in their cart, but they didn't make their order, and they're like, they shoved the phone. I have to turn the camera on for this. They come up to the counter after being in line for I don't know how long,
Mm-hmm.
and they're like, I want this. Bitch, you could have fucking ordered it. And then when you explain, hey, there's a kiosk over there, which we have very expensive, big ass screens with our entire menu. That is a live menu of our entire inventory. And they're like, well, I don't know how to use computers. Well, then how do you fucking have it on a computer and shoving it in my face?
Right.
That makes no sense. And you just stood in line for half an hour.
Mm-hmm.
You did it on your phone. You just had to hit one more button. So that's something that chaps my ass about stoners, because what the fuck are you doing, dude? Making us all look bad. I get all sorts of things accomplished while being stoned. But the most egregious one,
Uh-huh.
so I was working in the lobby. So in the lobby, my job was to scan IDs, and then the next person scans your QR code for your order on your phone. I'm not going to be nice about this, so fair warning. This person who was using a cane because of all the problems they have based on their obesity came in and demanded a wheelchair, which we have. Gave her one. Somehow I got roped into. Now I'm pushing this chick to the register. And then I had the great fortune of helping her make her order because she didn't have one. And she was trying to stock up, I guess. I don't even know what her intentions were, to be totally honest. But at one point, as I'm ringing her out, she's like, because she's doing that thing where, like, oh, let me add this. Not realizing that every time you say, oh, let me add this, I have to go get it. Because it's in a separate room. It's not like it is there. And she's like, oh, what is this concentrate? And I was like, well, it's like a wax. And I mean, to be frank, it's a lot more than that. But
Mm-hmm.
then you take a thing, you heat it up with a blowtorch to the point of vaporization, and you touch it to it as you're inhaling. And it's just a more efficient way to do this. And she's like, that's not how it's done.
Okay.
Like, then why'd you fucking ask if you know?
Well,
Listen,
if
you're
you know more
wrong.
than I
I'm
do,
right.
why are you asking?
I smoke exclusively concentrate. Like, you don't know that. That's all I smoke. But being that the part that sticks with me the most is well, it's two parts. There was a manager of mine sitting right next to me that heard her get spicy with me and was like, "Man, he did not say anything mean to you." Because she like was trying to tell me, "Hey, he doesn't know what he's talking about." Blah 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 blah. And the manager's like, "Nah, he actually is right, and there's no reason for you to be like this." So she didn't get the concentrate because I don't want to have to buy a blowtorch. But again, she's still in a wheelchair, right? Even though she can walk. So I had to go through a door to push her out. And the whole time, I was just like, does this bitch not realize I could, like, literally just slam her into a wall right now?
That's aggressive. That's aggressive, sir.
Yeah. Fucking Karens, man. Yeah, those are the two that stick out to me the most. I mean, it's like, why ask me a question if you don't want to hear the fucking answer?
Speaking of Karens,
Let's see what this can do. Feel the power!
People question my sexuality because they think that I'm gay because I'm with a trans woman because, yes, she originally was a man.
Gay!
indeed.
And a minarchy, that took a hard left. Funny. Hard left. But I mean, you are Canadian, so that tracks.
That is a slightly sharp left. However, it's not like we don't know people or
Oh, I have a lot of.
have been around any of that, you
Yeah.
know.
Yeah. I've experienced things in my life.
Without condemning or condoning. Hard left.
Yeah. Well, I kind of condone
but
it.
we also figured that out without having to say it.
Trying to think of it. Is there any other weed misconceptions? I mean, I should have all sorts of them, but
I would say
oh, people that smoke weed are not lazy. I was lazy way before I smoked weed.
yeah, same. Doesn't help, but it doesn't hurt either. If something were on fire, I'd still be able to get up and
Yeah.
put the fire out.
100%.
I might whine about it the whole time because I'm like, no, I don't want to, but I'll still put the fire out.
Like, freaking out, like, why is this happening? Oh, the fucking flood of 2024.
Yeah, that's wild. Also, you were asleep when that came about.
Yeah.
So that's slightly different.
Well, what do you do in that situation, right?
Wake up.
Get your computer the fuck out of there.
People question my sexuality.
What are you about to do?
I'm about to roll up.
You rolling another one?
Yeah.
Oh. Why? You okay?
Yeah, I'm good. Why?
Oh. I mean, I don't think it's necessary.
Nigga, you about to cry?
No. I mean, I'm
Oh,
already
hell no.
high. How much higher are you trying to get?
This boy high.
Yeah, take me home.
Let's go.
I'm about to be the dude in the background. How much are you trying to get? Let's find out, bitch. What, you need a ride home?
I heard that.
Thought we were down. Be bitching out now.
Yeah, I can't help it sometimes, man. Especially like I'm the dude that's asking why. But most of the time that's only when I'm on a tea break or something. Other than that, I'm pretty much down to figure out where the limits are.
Yeah. To anybody listening to this in the future, which in my experience is not going to happen, leave in the comments like anything that you want me to like. I'd say explore, but I've probably already explored it. As far as like these bullshit myths or like even just the science of it, like leave comments. Definitely like and subscribe. For fuck's sake.
Yeah,
I need subscribers.
And we'd love to have panelists as well. So if you want to come up and you want to talk about anything specific and kind of, take over the show a little bit and we can talk about what you want to talk about, feel free to come on and we can have a discussion. We would love to hear, any questions, comments, concerns, or just a general, ask me anything. The sky's the limit. Feel free.
For sure. And I mean, I'm still trying to figure out like what all this is. Definitely on the cannabis side of things now, but it doesn't have to be that way. I enjoy doing this. Hopefully people enjoy watching it.
Well, boy, Darth, I sure do enjoy this.
Okay.
Well, I mean, I am just saying. I enjoy it. Obviously, why I'm here. But it is a good time. And it can be very constructive if given the opportunity.
Well, I am going to edit certain parts of these. Well, inside baseball. Well, and by I mean somebody's going to edit this. I really want to do like a business card that has a QR code to like specifically the parts about why you're stupid for thinking THCA is fake weed. That way they have no excuse. It's like, you see that phone you just put in my face? Use the camera to scan that thing so that you know what the fuck you're talking about. You fucking idiot.
Yeah. Yep.
By the way, at this point, I think I can go on a wee bit of a rant. If you, at this point, think that THCA or hemp or any of that is fake weed, you are fucking retarded. You should not be able to vote. And yeah, there's not much more to that than you're retarded and should not be able to vote. More than likely, if you think that it's fake weed, you probably shouldn't be smoking it.
This is also true.
Like, so don't. If it's fake, then why are you here?
That is very true. If you think that strongly about it, why are we having a conversation about it? Although it is good to be informed.
You should always be informed. Right? If you're not informed, why should you be able to vote?
True. I will never get mad at somebody who is well informed that disagrees with me.
I mean, I'm being hyper specific on the cannabis.
The
Of
only
course.
the only part where I get upsetty spaghetti is if you're clearly not informed, or
Then shut the fuck up.
yeah, you don't know what you're talking about. If you do know what you're talking about and you want to disagree, totally different conversation.
And even if you do agree and you know what you're talking about, give me pushback. That just makes me better.
Mm-hmm. Agreed. Agreed.
I am gonna end it here in a minute, but I want to give a shout out. I won't say her name, but if she hears this, she actually, it's somebody I work with. That I told her I have a channel, and last night she was, as I was leaving, she was like, "I really like watching your videos. I just have one problem, and that's your voice is like so smooth that like it just makes me fall asleep."
Yeah, you have a very monotone cadence when you are talking.
I would never have guessed that.
Well, go back
I
and go back, Mr. Pitch
I don't.
Perfect
Yeah,
ears,
no,
and
that's
listen to
no,
what
that's your job,
how
Mr.
you sound.
Producer. I don't
Oh,
like
it's
listening to
my
myself.
job. It's my job to tell you how you sound. I have told you this.
No, it's your job to edit it because I don't like listening to myself.
Oh, you want me to auto tune your shit now?
No, that's not what I said at all.
Well, that's the only way I can make you not monotone.
Well, I think it has a lot. You know, this isn't my.
Stop using your jazz voice, sir.
Fuck you. You know, this isn't my
this isn't
actual
jazz
voice.
radio.
I'm being quiet and talking directly into a microphone because I have roommates.
That doesn't mean that you can't use inflection.
Oh, fuck you. Way to take something I was saying that somebody told me as a compliment and turning into like, fuck you. Like,
No, there was a compliment, but it was a compliment, but
go fuck
I'm
yourself. Yeah, but go fuck yourself.
Indeed. Pepe agrees. He's running away. He's done. He's had enough of our shit.
Well, if I could, which by the way, this is another reason. Oh, wait, I didn't say it. Here, hold on. Sorry, I was mid-swig, but I did say I want to call this out. And I did show it, but I didn't say it. Real quick, I just got this hoodie today. Shout out to Speakeasy's entire team. Tiny, Alicia, Speak, of course. Avarice, which this is Avarice's limited edition. These hoodies are comfy as fuck.
Show the back.
And yeah, they're going to have limited edition ones for every VK winner, right?
There you go, folks. He is repping Speakeasy's channel. He's repping Avarice. Shout out to them, to Speakeasy and to Avarice as well.
These are solid ass hoodies. Like I love wearing hoodies, and I've been disappointed so many times buying hoodies. I have a whole bunch of disappointing hoodies over there. This one is so soft. It's fantastic.
Quality matters,
Mm-hmm.
not just what's printed on it.
And you can go see it in full form and make fun of my legs on the Bear Chat. Speakeasy's the goat. By the way, not getting paid to say this at all. I paid the premium price for that limited edition one. So, that's my honest opinion. Dope ass hoodie.
Indeed. Super shout out.
And Speak is the whole reason I even stream. So, also go get him up to 20K so he can do a fucking What would be the next one? 120-hour stream?
Ridiculously long. Ridiculously long.
Like,
So amazing though that he can even pull that kind of stuff off. That's just a testament as to why he's the GOAT.
for sure. And I do have to give another shout out. I am going to get another one of these when THCa comes out. Because THCa's also the GOAT. He gives me so much promo and whatnot, and he's also the GOAT too. Based as fuck.
Indubitably. Well, with that said, folks, we're going to go ahead and play an outro song.
And if you're watching, go to THCa's stream, because he's streaming doing the deductionist files, where it's like murder investigation shit. And if you give him enough money, you can go up on panel, or you can just hang out in the chat. And shout out to Shantae. Why do I say it like that?
Shantae.
She's holding it down, modding over there too. So
Indeed. Shout out to the whole team, everybody. Thank you.
I'd rate him, but I can't. Not until I get enough subs.
Indubitably.